do you have to say? I'm gonna let you talk a little bit. I talked a little bit too much.
So I personally, I don't know. This could be just me. I feel like this year has been a little underwhelming as far as college talent is concerned, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw that team back in the hat. I'm going to go Kansas because they did win last year, and I think that they got a solid foundation, and their players that they have on their team, they never quite become like, there's not a consistent theme of them becoming superstars in the NBA. I'm just going to say that. They're like usually role players, but why I'm going with Kansas is because all their players usually know their role, and they kind of, they thrive under those expectations. So I think Kansas is going to make a pretty good run, and I hope that they win because I'm making sort of a thoughtless pick for them to go all the way again because they have a solid foundation and a very good coach.
Are you also hoping they win because you're gambling?
What? Okay, I'm hoping they win. I'm just going to add this on here because they won last time, so they have high odds, right, to win again. And because I have literally not been paying attention to any other college teams besides WSU. Go Cougs. I'm saying this because he already knows I'm going to go in on his team, the Warriors. They have miraculously, and in my opinion, unfortunately, jumped to the 5th seed. So I'm gonna give y'all some credit because listen, I'm trying not to be biased. It's killing me to say this, but with Clay back to his normal form and Steph recovering, he should be back, I think, within a week or two. They say he's progressing very solid with rehab, and they got GP2 back, although I don't think he'll be back anytime soon. And, like, if y'all make a deep run, y'all might get him. Y'all look really good. I'm just going to be real. Like, you guys look really, really solid, and it kills me to say this because I'm kind of scared. Scared. And I think that you guys are a solid second-round exit. This is me hoping.
Wow.
I think you're a very competitive. It'll go to 7 games, and you'll get bounced. I don't know who. I don't know when, but you will. What are your thoughts? On Friday, 22nd, the number 24 Cougs kept it close against the second-best team in the nation, the Stanford Cardinal. Despite outpacing Stanford in shots 10-8 and some close calls late in the game, the Cougs were unable to put themselves on the scoreboard, ending the night with a 1-0 loss. The Cougs possessed the ball well throughout the night, and the Cardinals committed 5 sloppy offside calls. But in the end, the game was decided by a 10th-minute goal by Stanford's Andrea Kitahara. The Cougs fall to 7-2. After the one-match homestand to begin Pac-12 play, WSU went over to Arizona to take on the Wildcats. A slow start led to a rough night for the Cougs, losing the first set 25-23, and barely squeaking by in the second set, 27-25, was enough to get the Cougs a little momentum going forward. While the Cougs lost the third set 25-22, a dominant fourth set lit fire underneath the top 10 team, hitting point 300% in the set. The Cougs took it easily to 25-18 to force a winner-take-all fifth set to 15 points. Proving that it should not have even gotten that far, WSU took care of business in their first fifth set of the season and took the set 15-6 while hitting .533% and held the Wildcats to .053%. Number 21 WSU was once again victorious, winning 38-35 against a very formidable opponent in Week 4, then number 14 ranked Oregon State. The Beavs came into Martin Stadium with ambitions to be the best team remaining in the Pac-12. However, the Cougs had other plans. The game started with a bang. Cam Ward launched a 63-yard touchdown pass to receiver Kyle Williams to put the Cougs up early. On the very next possession for the Cougs, Josh Kelly made what may have been the catch of the year on a drive that led to another WSU touchdown. A couple of Cougar lost fumbles, a good Beaver run game, and great plays from Cam Ward amounted to a 28-14 halftime lead for the WS Cougs. Would be outscored 21-10 in the second half, but a last-second onside kick recovery would ensure victory for the Cougars. Martin Stadium was buzzing, and in a frenzied crowd would storm the field after a huge win. Thanks, Anna. WSU Cross Country finished up their annual Cougar Classic race this month with Cougs finishing all over the top 5 as they crushed their competition. Junior Brian Bersea won the men's 8K and broke a Cougar Classic meet record with a time of 23 minutes and 41.3 seconds, while 3 other Cougs, Kevin Limo, Micah Galina, and Kyle Ortega Gamil, all finishing in the top 5. Nima Kim Tai, Caroline Jorotich, and Christina Multeni won the women's 6K for the Cougs, placing 1, 2, and 3 respectfully. More recently, the men's golf team took on the Husky Invitational, a 2-day tournament hosted at the Gold Mountain Olympic Course. The Cougs finished among the top half of contenders, trying for 6th place among 14 participants. The team faced a great deal of adversity, landing in the 10th place after the tournament's first 2 rounds. However, the Cougs rallied in the 3rd and final round, jumping 4 spots on the leaderboard. With a cumulative score of 279, the Cougs had the 3rd lowest score among all teams in round 3. Reigning Super Bowl champ Jalen Watson and his Kansas City Chiefs are in full swing after a Week 1 loss to the Lions, sitting at 2-1 on the season. Watson has not seen too much action this season as a second-stringer defensive back, only recording 2 tackles in 3 games. Veteran safety Jalen Thompson and his Arizona Cardinals start the season rough at 1-2 after being projected to be one of the worst teams in the league this year. Despite that, Thompson did record a pick 6 in the first game back for this season. Tackle Andre Dillard is finally seeing starter snaps on the Tennessee Titans after spending all last season as a backup on the Philadelphia Eagles. Dillard and the Titans start the season at 1-2. America's hero and pro Coug Gardner Minshew is back with his magic. After signing as a backup quarterback to rookie Anthony Richardson on the Indianapolis Colts, Minshew has led the Colts on a 2-game win streak after Richardson went down with a concussion. Most impressively, this past Sunday, squeaking out a 22-19 overtime victory against a very stout Ravens team. Minshew threw for 227 yards and 1 touchdown to go along with his 171 yards and a touchdown from the Week 2 win versus the Texans.
I'm going to go with the Warriors, and I think the series is going to go to 6 games. And I think the Warriors will start off a little sluggish. They'll find themselves. Klay Thompson's hit his stride toward the end of the season. He's shooting, 39% from 3, and he's only getting warmed up. Stephen Curry's in MVP form. Draymond, I really don't like praising. I really don't like praising the Warriors. They're forcing me to do this. Draymond Green's already in postseason form, loud, whether he's hitting teammates or getting stops on the defensive end. I see the Warriors winning this series with a solid 6 games. But Mike Brown, he's a solid coach, and he's really turned their program around. I would not be surprised if we do get an upset and, the Bay ends up losing to Sacktown. I wouldn't be mad at that, honestly.
Good taste.
I'm going to go complete annihilation. The Grizzlies are going to mop the floor with the Lakers. They're not just going to beat them. They're going to make Laker fans wish that they were not Laker fans. Lakers, you do not barely beat the Minnesota Timberwolves and then face what you're going to play like that against the Grizzlies? They're going to get destroyed. I mean, LeBron had to play, 43 minutes? Yeah. Is he 39, 38, 39? He's almost 40 years old. I'm sorry, but the Lakers are going to be bounced in the first round. D'Lo put up 0 points. They traded for him. And Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis, he put up 23 and 14, I think.
Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass was pretty much invisible. So I love LeBron. He's my favorite player, but I think that the Lakers are going to get mopped by the Grizzlies. And if they don't, and if they just so happen to stretch it to 7 or 6 games or even win, I'll be fairly surprised and I'll be truly humbled. Oof, that's a tough one. I try not to let my biases get in the way, and I try to be as realistic as possible. At the same time, I feel like somehow, some way, the Warriors are going to find their way back to. This kills me to say it. I really don't want to say this, but the Warriors will, I think, find their way back to the finals. If it's not the Warriors, it will most likely be Phoenix because they got KD, and he's like Slim Reaper. I mean, come on, 7 feet tall. In the East, this is tough for me. I would love to see a Celtics versus Warriors rematch. I really would. I personally don't have any interest in seeing Milwaukee make it to the finals. I don't. Honestly, I think if they make it to the finals, will they make it tough on the Warriors? Probably. I think
they're beating the Warriors in the finals.
I don't know about that.
Akumbo, he's winning.
I don't know. I think the
Giannis,
Warriors, they've caught their stride. They got GP2 back. I mean, they got Andrew Wiggins coming back. Really, the only denominator that they can't guard is Antetokounmpo. I mean, I personally feel like I wouldn't be mad at Lamar walking either. I know that OBJ coming, I saw some reports that doesn't guarantee that Lamar is staying. So I'm kind of lost on why the Ravens decided to go after him, because if you got Odell and you got Rashad Bateman, he's coming off injury and he was pretty key receiver for them last season, who do you have throwing the ball? Lamar doesn't seem not even moved by the addition of Odell.
No, he FaceTimed him. He was super happy.
He FaceTimed him,
yeah,
but
I was on all the fan accounts geeking. But then I realized, reality, he's not coming back.
I feel like there's still a high probability that he still leaves. I feel like no matter who they bring to him, he's going to want his check. He wants his money. And that's what the issue I have with it is I'm not sure that this Odell acquisition is going to change anything for Lamar, which means it doesn't really do anything for the Ravens. I think OBJ, I think this will be a good chance for him to get his numbers up. I don't see this as a long-term destination for him, even though that's what the media is saying. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this will be a good team for him to get his numbers up and hopefully find a long-term team. I wanted him to go to the Steelers. I mean, not the Steelers. Forgive me. I wanted him to go to the Raiders. Raiders fan over here. And I also did not want Jimmy G. I wanted Aaron Rodgers and OBJ to be teamed up with Devontae Adams, but obviously that did not happen. So
Them
we'll have to
delusions
see.
hitting you hard. You just making stuff. You just wanted people to go anywhere.
No, I just want my
I don't
team
even
to
know
be
if that's
good.
gonna
Listen,
happen.
I just want the Raiders to be good. We
You
lost
ain't even
Derek
read the
Carr,
rap
and
for it.
who do we get? We get Jimmy Garoppolo.
You're doing
What am I
better.
supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
You tell me, are we going to be successful with Jimmy
Got
Garoppolo?
Jimmy G, Brian Hoyer.
The guy who can barely throw 15 yards? No.
Yeah.
I'd rather take Trey Lance. But anyways.
Anyways.
Hi, I'm Sicaly, and we're here at the Beasley Coliseum where the women's basketball team just got done facing Cal Poly in a tight matchup. It was an exciting game with a flurry of three-pointers and gritty defense.
In the first game of the season, WSU women's basketball team faced off against a feisty Cal Poly team. Although the game was back and forth with both teams going on scoring runs, the Cougs were eventually able to gain enough separation to pull out the win with a dominant second-half performance led by Bella Mercatete posting 18 points and 7 rebounds. The Cougs beat Cal Poly 78-61. The Cougs opened the game attacking the paint early. On several possessions, the Cougs used motion offense to get the ball to center Bella Mercatete, which disrupted Cal Poly's defense. Despite the Cougs' inside bucket approach and various trips to the free throw line, Cal Poly was able to match every point with their own. The game remained close throughout the first quarter, with Cal Poly seeming in control with guard Natalia Ackerman imposing her will on the Cougs' defense, scoring from the inside of the paint, facing no resistance. With a steady offensive rhythm going and exceptional shooting from the perimeter, Cal Poly was able to take a 23-17 lead to end the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Cougs continued to attack the paint by feeding Mercatete the ball down low. However, the Cougs still seemed to struggle getting their offense in rhythm, missing several good looks at the basket. Ackerman continued to dominate the paint and grab second chance points for Cal Poly, and as a result, the Cougs struggled to stay in front of her. She had an early 10 points in the second quarter. The Cougs responded with a series of three-pointers that gave them a brief 31-28 lead over Cal Poly, but the lead wouldn't last due to several defensive lapses that led to back-to-back transition threes for Cal Poly. Cal Poly shot an impressive 56% from three to give them a 34-31 lead over the Cougs to end the first half. After a rusty offensive first half, the Cougs came out to start the second half with increased intensity on defense and offense. The Cougs were active on switches and on-ball denials, making Cal Poly work harder for their shots. Despite the Cougs' new sense of intensity, the game remained close with both teams going shot for shot. But after 2 buckets by Charlize Ledger-Walker, the Cougs were finally able to find their stride on offense with a balanced attack of three-pointers and layups. Charlize helped the Cougs gain a 54-43 lead to end the third quarter. The Cougs continued their intense defense, amplifying pressure on Cal Poly's ball handlers, causing several turnovers to start the fourth quarter. Eventually, the Cougs pushed the lead 57-49, answering every basket Cal Poly made. The Cougs were clicking on all cylinders with good ball movement and swarming defense. Ultimately, the Cougs would pull away with a 78-61 victory, as their explosive third quarter proved to be too much for Cal Poly. It wasn't a pretty game, but the Cougs found a way to win. The Cougs moved to 1-0 to start the season and will face Gonzaga next for their second home game of the season.
The Cougs will be back here this Thursday to face the Gonzaga Bulldogs and look to go 2-0 on the season. For more sports content, you can follow us at Wazoo Sports Network on Instagram and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Cable 8. I'm Sicaly, and I'm your WSU correspondent. This is Wazoo Recap.